Hi, this is Justin Gallo with Virtual Hammer, and I'm going to be giving you an intro into Diagram. And Diagram is a visual scripting tool we're going to be using in Unity to get some functionality, get scripting functionality that you would usually use C# or something for to do this. And Diagram is a package that you'll get off the Unity store, or you can get it off the website. And we're just going to go over some of the ways that we can use this to get functionality into your game. So what we're going to have to do first is, I'm assuming that you know about Unity at this point and you know how to use it. So we may have other videos that we're going to have that are going to teach you a little bit more about Unity, but for right now this is just about how to get Diagram into your project and get it so that we can start using it. So the first thing we're going to do is get the package. You should have downloaded the packages. Here's the package for it. If you have a new project open, this is a brand new project, you could just double click the package and import it in. And importing it takes a little bit, but once you do, it will go down into your assets folder down there, and you'll be able to see that once it all loads up in your windows up here, or the options you have for your menus, you'll see some Diagram or Virtual Hammer options up there so that we can start using it. So we'll wait for this to load up for a second. And while that happens, well, there it is. All right, it's loaded up. And one of the things we're going to have to learn is how to make an object with a Diagram behavior on it. And we're going to do that. You can see all the plugins and stuff are there. That's how you know you have the stuff in there, and you know you have it by if you have these options in your Windows to it all loaded up correctly. But we're going to make this Diagram behavior, this object with a Diagram behavior on it. And to do that, all we have to do is go into our hierarchy here, and if we'll right click and we'll create a new object, a Virtual Hammer diagram object. And you can see over to the right there, you'll see that we have a diagram and a glyph behavior script, and that's the component. It's a glyph behavior. We call the objects that we use glyphs. But we clicked editor, and it will bring this editor window up for us, which we can dock if we want to, dock it up into the rest of our windows there. And this is the first, it comes with a start event, and we'll go over events in another video. But this is the first thing you're going to see, and I just want to talk about some of the functionality that we're going to have. All the events that you see will be up there. We can add new events if we want. Update, start an update if you're used to Unity or are scripted before, those should be familiar to you. There's a context or a little inspector panel here we can get. We can hide it if we need to, or bring it back up. And these are where our variables and events are going to be right in there. We can add variables if we want. We're going to add a bool variable here just by clicking that plus button, create a bool, and it'll make a variable there. Or have another video about variables more in depth. We can add events on either of those panels. We can add an event here in the events thing, or add it over on the top there where our event tabs are. And clicking on each of those events will take us into the graph for that. So it would be just like having an event function in script, but you have this graph space for it. We can turn them on and off with that little V for visibility. Sometimes that gets crowded up there, so we'll want to be able to turn them on and off if we aren't using them, so it's a little less crowded. We can drag around by holding the middle mouse button. We'll drag around in this space. You can also do it by holding Alt and left clicking. If you hold Alt and left click, you can drag around in this space. You can zoom with using the middle mouse button. Middle mouse button, or anything that lets you zoom on your functionality. If you're using a touchpad, will let you zoom in. The other things that we can do in this space, there's a context menu, and the context menu is just going to be how we access all of the functionality from Unity in here. You can see all the stuff from Unity's in here, and we have a search bar for it, so we could type in the search bar and you'll be able to see filter that as you need to for this. There's some other nodes in there, and we'll talk about that more in some of the other videos on what we're going to do. So that's a quick intro to this. Well, we'll search a little bit first. can see I'm going to do transform. And as I do this, anything that has transform in it's going to come up. If I want the specific transform, if I want it to come to the top, there's transform for it. If you don't know what that is, that's okay. But if I spell it out, it'll filter all that stuff to the top so that we can kind of find what we're looking for a bit easier in that space. So those are some of the just how to use this, and we're going to have a couple videos that get a little bit more in depth on what we're doing, how to use the rest of this, and we'll talk more about variables and functions in the upcoming videos. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next videos.